all over the world have been watching closely the results of this election from Europe to Middle East. Arthur Chian has more on the reaction that we're seeing from around the globe. Arthur.
Well, Natasha, Steve, globally, leaders are congratulating Trump for a victory that was even more decisive than the polls and pundits predicted it would be. But when it comes to some U.S. allies around the world, they are worried about how destabilizing the second Trump presidency will be.
The reaction coming in globally, a mixture of both celebration and concern. In Tel Aviv, outright joy in the form of massive billboards, some calling on Trump to make Israel great. Trump has said he wants Israel to, quote, finish the job. People there say Trump will help them do just that.
He would be someone that could take care of business, so to speak, as opposed to someone of Kamala Harris, which I feel, being that she is associated with President Biden, no disrespect, but I feel that the country has not gone in the correct direction with President Biden's term.
In Russia, some see the election results as voters rebuking Biden's support of Ukraine. They're hoping the incoming president will cut funding and support for Ukraine. Trump says he'll end that war within 24 hours of taking office. Meanwhile, in Europe, many long-standing U.S. allies are worried about NATO's future.
To me, it's a tough day. It's not my first choice, for sure.
Maybe I think Trump coming in forces people to be a bit more realistic about what they need to do to look after their own interests rather than hoping for a benign U.S. government.
In China, the foreign ministry issuing a measured response, saying they consider the U.S. election to be an internal matter in the U.S. and that it, quotes, respects the choice of the American people. And the president of Mexico is addressing concerns there as Trump promises mass deportations and has vowed to impose a 25% tariff on Mexico if it does not cut the flow of illegal migrants crossing into the U.S.
Now, whatever the reaction, there is no doubt we are living in volatile times. Many say the election results in parts shows voter dissatisfaction with how the Biden White House handled those two world conflicts. Now it's time to see what the next presidential administration can do about it. Steve, Natasha.